Hello friends and welcome to another session of English literature. So friends, today's topic of discussion is the poem London by William Blake. So this poem London was published in 1794 in the volume of poems called Songs of Experience. So friends, we all know that there are two important volumes of poetry by William Blake, and they are Songs of Innocence and Songs of Experience. So these two volumes are quite important. So the volume Songs of Experience includes the poem London. So friends, this is the full poem. This poem is divided into 4 stanzas, okay? So this poem can be seen as a kind of social criticism or social commentary by William Blake. Here Blake displays his own experiences in London and his feelings towards the society of London where he was living. So as a resident of London, at first Blake loved London, okay? But because of the Industrial Revolution, because of the French Revolution, but as soon the picture of London began to change, because of the French Revolution, because of the Industrial Revolutions, so that's why the British government began to oppress the civilians, or we can say began to oppress or restrict the civil democratic activities, okay? So then London, or the life of London or society of London, changed a lot, and it becomes miserable, oppressive. So that's why William Blake in this poem brings out the oppressive or the negative picture of the 18th century London. So in the first stanza of the poem London, William Blake says that, I wander through each chartered street, near where the chartered Thames does flow, and mark in every face I meet marks of weakness, marks of woe. So as Blake in this poem displays the great suffering of the British society during the French Revolution and during the Industrial Revolution. So that's why in the first stanza he tries to describe the things which he witnesses or hears when he wanders through the streets of London near the Thames River. So in the streets of London, Blake saw the signs of misery, the signs of great suffering in everyone's face. So now in the stanza number 2 and 3, he is saying that, in every cry of every man, in every infant's cry of fear, in every voice, in every band, the mind-forced manacles I hear, how the chimney sweepers cry, every blacking church appalls, and the hapless soldier's sigh runs in blood-town palace walls. So in the second stanza, Blake is saying that when he wanders in the London streets, then he can hear every man's cry. Even he can hear the cry of the infants who even not yet learned to talk, but still in their cry the poet can hear their state of oppression, their miserable state, okay? So after this, in the third stanza, Blake displays the two authorities, the two higher authorities, the church and the palace. The industrialization leads London to such a place in which the small children are also exploited, are also maltreated through their employment as chimney sweepers. Then the poet also brings out the reference of the unlucky soldiers who are sent off to fight and shed their blood for the uncaring kings. So here actually the poet criticizing the church which as an organization should help the poor, but it also blackened with the shame of not helping them, okay? So the church should be appalled by the cry of the chimney sweepers. So here basically the main idea is that the church is not associated with the good works, with the good deeds of helping people, but they are associated with the funerals. They are associated with summoning the premature deaths of so many children who died because of injury or ill health while performing the job of sweeping chimney. And then he is saying that how the soldiers, the hapless means the unlucky soldiers, shed their bloods in battlefield. So thus the poet here condemns the powerful institutions like church, royal palace, the militia and the new industries. So we can say that it brings out the people's lack of freedom in that time, in that society. So in a word we can say that this poem London brings out the economic problem of the contemporary 18th century London, okay? Then in the final stanza the poet is saying that, but most through midnight streets I hear how the youthful hurlers curse, blasts the newborn infant's tear, and blights with plagues the marriage hearse. So here William Blake brings out another hard reality of the time, which is the sound of the unmarried young mothers or we can say the cry of the unmarried younger mothers who are also a prostitute. So the younger mother, the young unmarried mother, is cursing her newborn baby's crying. So why she is cursing? Because she is unmarried and the child is her unwanted child. Okay, so it shows the misery or sorrowful plight of both the mother and her child. So the harlots or the prostitutes are the real truth behind the respectable ideas of marriage. So here the new birth of a child is not a happy event for them, okay? And the wedding or the wedding carriage is seen as a hearse, which leads to a kind of death, okay? And here you can see the word plague in the last line, which also suggests the sexually transmitted diseases, okay, which the young prostitute would contract and thus pass on to others. So thus in this poem, William Blake paints a picture of the dirty, miserable streets of London as well as describes the bottom line people of society like the chimney sweepers, the soldiers, the prostitutes. So thus he displays how people are oppressed and how much injustice are done to them. Okay, it also exposes the gap between the ordinary people and the people who are in power. So this is it, guys. Thank you so much for watching this video.